Cool. Thank you so much, Dr. Shravani, for joining with us today. So, who are we? First of all, we are Women Who Code Singapore. We are a not-for-profit organization. Our main motive is to encourage more women to get into various tech segments or your STEM programs, right? And this session is specifically catered towards cybersecurity because we feel there's huge gender disparity in this industry, and we are trying to make small efforts to bridge this gap. And hope to see that many more women will join this industry and hopefully get into the executive positions to bring in a change, which is the much needed in today's world, right? So Women Code is basically right now in 147 countries. So if you are someone from a different country, you're welcome to join today, as well as you might have some sort of a chapter in your own country as well. So do have a look out for that. Like I said, today's session is going to be more on the cybersecurity part. Along with us, we have like other interview ready series, Python study group, which is like going on since a long time, and many more other initiatives like data science, your AI initiatives, or even your public speaking groups, right? So we have a lot more. So please do follow us on our social handles. Very happy to introduce Dr. Shravani Shahapure today with us. She is a well-known, well-recognized expert in the area of quantum safe computing technology, and even in the cryptography, and she's a PhD holder, which is like excellent to have in this kind of an industry. So we are very happy that she's with us today, and she's going to speak about the zero trust, right? And I've been really fascinated by zero trust because me coming from a cybersecurity background and the various vendors I worked with, zero trust is something, a game changer in 2023 and 2024. So, and I'm very happy that we are going to touch base on that topic. Shravani is also a CISSP holder, which is like a gold standard in cybersecurity. I'm very happy to know that. And I believe she's been studying in INSEAD as well. Recently, I saw a post on INSEAD. So maybe she can add more onto that when she's going to speak about that. So we are extremely happy that she's with us. And I would like to pass the screen to Shravani. And Shravani, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Precious. Actually, first of all, good morning to everybody. This is Saturday morning, and thanks for joining because it's a lazy morning always. And thank you so much for inviting me, Prajasta. And this is really a lovely introduction. Yes, I recently joined my INSEAD program. It's yet to start, but yes, journey started in a direction of business as well. So first of all, I would like to thank Women Who Code for this. And this is really a nice initiative. I personally feel that a lot of women should enter into this field, specifically in cybersecurity. And it's my own personal interest because I feel that women are more serious. I'm so sorry for that. But yeah. So thank you so much for allowing me to this very important topic, which is like most discussed in the industry, and then it is grabbing a lot of attention. So I'll just share my screen, and then maybe we can start discussing on. I'm not sure if you can see my screen.
Yeah, you can see it. It's not in the yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so today through this presentation, I would like to grab an attention to most discussed topic, today's most discussed topic. There are a lot of questions in our mind, right? So while we are reading, discussing, thinking what exactly this zero trust is. And first of all, whenever the new technology or which new concept comes, it always, when we try to look from the business perspective, we think, do we really need it, or is just an hype, you know? So of course, cybersecurity is not just about technology. We have to think about the business. And then from that perspective, we wanted to see whether zero trust is really of our interest, or is just an hype, or people are just wanting to sell one more technology. So before entering or into the world of zero trust and trying to unfold more about it, let's try to grab the digital world around us. So what is digital world? It's kind of a parallel physical world, parallel to physical world, which has a vast of arrays of digital information, communication, services, then interaction, work, learn. So it's now becoming the daily aspect of our life. We cannot separate the digital world from ourselves. And it actually fundamentally transforms us from, how we speak, how we communicate, how we interact. So smallest thing is that now also we are connected with each other from different parts of the world through digital media and digital platform. And then we are exchanging our thoughts without even knowing each other. We are trying to express our ideas. We're trying to exchange our information. And then it is actually impacting our life in a lot of positive ways, I would like to say. So it is bringing a lot of global connectivity, the information access, then there is an economic growth. There is a lot of advancement in the healthcare, data analysis and insights. They are making a huge impact on our lives. Of course, education and learning is very impactful, meaningful, and we can now connect to different experts from different part of the world. And last but not least, the innovation and creativity. So of course, so that means in different ways it is impacting our life. And then long story short, it has drastically changed our life. But when we are talking about the drastically changing our lives, and then people were slowly trying to adopt before 2020, the pandemic hit, and we have to accept this technology, and we have to put it on a faster mode, and we have to go remote without any choice. So a major industry that has impacted is the cybersecurity industry. And while discussing the advantages of digital world or digital transformation around us, whatever the great benefit it is bringing, it has also brought a lot of cyber crimes, growth in the cyber crimes. So these are the different, try to grab some graphs. Like, what are the leading cyber threats targeting the organizations, like malware, phishing, ransomware. Then leading organizations, those are Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Apple. And then if you see the percentage that of organization compromised by at least one successful attack, it is increasing. I mean, it's not like very drastic, but yes, you can say that there is we have not reduced the attacks, rather they have increased more. So when we are thinking normally when I'm thinking about the cyber crime, I always get admire with the creative thinking of the cyber criminals. I mean, I never underestimate the power of imagination of problem solving. So how it comes, when we are talking about this cyber criminals or the cyber hackers, we are trying to safeguard our systems, and cyber hackers or the cyber criminals, they are coming up with the different new ideas, and they're trying to find out the ways to hack our system and keep us always, try to put us into the evolving mode. That's what I always feel. So it's always fascinating me. I mean, my entire career of PhD is in cryptanalysis, to breaking the algorithm. So and there we have to understand the different ways which are innovative ways to crack the algorithm. Similar way, of course, I'm not a hacker, it's a different field. But when it comes to hacker has to think again innovatively, and then so there is the creativity comes. That is different topic of discussion, how the hacker minds work. But coming back to our discussion on a zero trust, if you will take a look into the today's business, I mean, there are different components, those are connected to each other. I try to gather a few of them. There are many other things that we can add into this slide, but just to give a glimpse, like, there are different components, that is corporate laptop and computers, corporate smartphones, then tablets, third-party laptops, then we may have the smartphones, some legacy systems, and then we have secure point, and then guest wireless point. There are some hardware devices like a printer, we can't exclude them. And then comes up with the cloud services, that is PaaS, SaaS, as, and the access, that everything as a service. So funny thing here is, when I was reading something about the cloud, different technologies, I've come across the one good article on a ransomware as a service. So creativity has no end, I must say that. So this is how our today's business look like. When we are talking about the traditional network, it always flows north, south, and east-west. So how it is? North-south means when we are crossing the internet and we are trying to connect to the cloud, which is outside the internet, and then smartware, smart devices, data center, which is across the internet. We have to use internet to move around, and then or our data is flowing through the network. But when it comes to east-west, that is, which is inside our premises, might be on-prem cloud, then connected devices, which is inside the organization, and the data center, which is inside the organization. So it's an intra-network. But now this concept, like let's see from these hackers' perspective. I mean, traditional network, we have seen how it is moving, right? So internet and the intranet. Now, if the hacker, right, is trying to send an email, for example, I am an like Capgemini employee, and I am getting an email saying that you have to. This email is legitimate, looking like a legitimate, and this is from the finance department, and it is having the note saying it's a high alert, and urgently you have to reply, and the alert is like, you have to reply this email within 15 minutes, and it's like your bank details or personal detail has to be updated, otherwise you will not get your salary, and plus it's increment or a month, and you are going to get a double salary or a bonus. And I'll see that mail, and I'll say, oh, okay, let me reply it immediately. I'll click the link, and then I'll try to fill the information. Being an very, what you say, a hacker plays with our mind, right? So how it is, like fear, if I'll not reply to the mail in 15 minutes, second, greed, that, I'm going to get the bonus, extra points. And then I'm a very hardworking and obedient employee of Capgemini. Yeah, fine. So I have clicked the link, and then hacker got an access to my network. Now, what hacker will do, it will get inside, and then I don't know what happened to my mail, and then maybe I'll just forget it or ignore it, or I will just try to fill the information, and I'll be happy. But now hacker is inside my organization, try to see if he or she can get an access, or access privileged, and try to reach to my the admin, or try to reach the trusted services. Maybe it will remain calm and just try to grab an information, or it will try to disturb. So there are different ways hacker can target our system. Once it is inside the organization, is it try to hit the confidentiality, of course. Then second is the integrity, another pillar of the CIA triad. That is, it'll change or modify our data, and that is again and disastrous for our organization or important data. So, and when it is coming, when it was inside, now there is like, when we started our journey after pandemic, most of the people started staying at home and started doing the remote working, and we are using VPN. But this is one of the important trait that we cannot ignore. So is there any solution to this problem? I mean, everything has a solution. But again, do we have to wait till the disaster happen, or do we have to, take the immediate action? That is the topic of debate. But when it comes to cybersecurity, the budget is an important factor, and then we have to, convince our senior management that how it is important to the organization to, have this kind of security to our system. So, and then here is the concept of zero trust has picked up drastically. I mean, federal agencies started pushing up the organization to transform the current traditional security into zero trust, and it is now mandatory for many of the government organizations or those who want to do business with the government organization. So we got the solution to the problem. I mean, I must say that hackers will come up with that new strategy soon, but it's look like kind of a good solution. Being a researcher, I'm a little hesitant to say, because I know that the researcher or the creative mind people comes up with the new strategies every day, every minute. And that's why I love about this industry. It's evolving. Each and every second, you have to keep updated yourself and you have to keep thinking on a different side. So what exactly the zero trust is? First, let me tell you when this concept was initially introduced. This concept is not very new. It was introduced in 20th centuries, and then later in 21st century in Jericho Forum in 2004, and it was actually presented by Paul Simon. And the idea he was presented was the deperimeterization. And then there was a discussions going on because people are reluctant to accept the new concept. And then in 2010, John, the Forrester researchers, has come up with the same idea with the new concept, added elements and new name, which is called as the zero trust. Meanwhile, in 2009, Google has started its initiative called as Beyond Crop, and then it successfully implemented. There it was trying to make its employee work without the use of VPN. And then NIST has published in 2018 first a special edition 800207 Zero Trust Architecture. So Zero Trust is a strategy initiative for preventing the data breaches. It's not about the product to prevent the data loss. Currently, we our entire focus is on safeguarding the data, which is flowing freely, across the network, and there is no boundary actually nowadays. It's a business enabler. It's about the architectural state of mind. It's a central principle of never trust, always verify. Means there is an explicit verification, least privileged access, and always assume there is a breach. So this means what? Like, even though I am inside the organization, I am inside the perimeter, I still have to, get verified. If I am required to access only the particular data, I will not be allowed to access, all the folders. Like suppose I am allowed to access a particular folder of finance, then I will not be allowed to access other folders where the employee data has been stored. So least privileged. And I'm always considering that there is a breach. So it's a continuous analyzing the situation and trying to update by using different tools like SIEM and SOAR and other platform. What exactly zero trust is? It's certainly not about not trusting. it's not a next generation perimeter. It's not an IT project only. It's not about eliminating your intranet, but of course we can think about it. And it's not about the VPN modernization. So it's actually a strategy how we can build our network and safeguard our data. So there are different pillars. This John has been presented in 2009. So first one is the workforce security. The workforce security centers around the use of security tools such as authentication, access control policies. These tools identifies and validates the user attempting to connect to the network before applying access policies that limit access to decrease the attack surface areas. Second important thing is the device security. Much like a workforce, the primary goal of a device security pillar is to identify and authorize whether a device attempted to connect to the enterprise resources, whether it is valid or not, whether it is authorized device to use or it is a rogue device. Then workload security is a pillar referred to the application, digital processes, public and private IT resources used by an organization for organizational purposes. Network security is another important pillar. By using the micro segment, we can isolate the sensitive resources from being accessed by the unauthorized people or things. Here, I would like to tell you one story, like why it is, how it is important. So I have come across one story where some of you might have heard about it, right? The casino story that this casino was foolproof with the latest modern cybersecurity technologies. And then everybody was so confident that there will never be a breach will happen in casino. And one fine morning, they have come to know that entire day, money has been stolen. And then forensic department started investigating how it had happened. And then they had come to know that there was a fish tank, which was automated fish tank, huge fish tank, and where IoT devices has been connected, and those devices has been used to feed the fish and to analyze the temperature of an fish tank and water quality and all. The adequate security measures has not been taken when it was when they were considering the cybersecurity measures. And then hacker could able to get inside the casino through that. So it's very important to, all these incidents are making huge impact while thinking about the zero trust policy. So this is another important factor when we are thinking about a zero trust. Second important thing is, as I said, the data security. As data is an crown jewel when we are talking about the information security in today's world, we have to give up at most important to the data security. I mean, when we have to see the maximum encryption has been given to the data security while it is in the transit, while it is stored. And people nowadays, they are saying that but yeah, that's fine. I mean, when we are data is flowing through the network and we can put encryption. When data is stored, we can put the encryption. But when data is in process, how we can encrypt the data and do processing. So let me give you a little information about this here. Homomorphic encryption is the upcoming branch, and many organizations are adopting it, where the data which is in the encrypted form can be processed. Of course, it's in the research field, not full-fledged solutions are available, but many cases will find that full homomorphic encryption is available. Then another important pillar is the visibility and analytics. All security processes that revolves around access control, segmentation, encryption, application, or data organization must be closely monitored. I mean, we should have the AI tools, automated some process, like including the anomaly detection, and then end-to-end data visibility. That is also very important. I mean, of course, there are certain advantages, disadvantages when we are using analytics and AI and machine learning. But of course, it is sometimes it's better to have a good security than to go in the loose end. And last important thing is the automation. It covers automation and it actually centrally control the entire zero trust model on a LAN, WAN, wireless WAN, public-private networks. So these are the pillars that has been, and see, again, I would like to state here that zero trust is a strategy. There is not a product that you will get it somewhere. You have to tailor it. You have to think through. You have to understand how this solution will work for my organization and what is important. Right? So, I mean, NIST has come up with some basic tenets, and then those are this all data sources and computing services are considered resources. All communication is secured regardless of network locations. Access to the individual enterprises resources is guaranteed on a per session basis. I mean, if I'm inside the organization, doesn't mean that I am, allowed to move around and do whatever I want. No, I have to, I have to get an access per basis. I have to get an access based on how much access I should get. The access to the resources is determined by dynamic policy. The enterprise monitors and measures the integrity and security posture of all owned and associated assets. All resource authentication authorizations are dynamic and strictly enforced before access is allowed. Enterprises collect as much as information possible about the current state of assets, network infrastructure, communication, and uses it to improve its security posture. So if you will try to see the zero trust is, they are not, they are not trying to give any loose ends, right? So we are, they are trying to see, and each and every moment, there is an authentication and authorization. There is no, if the person who is, even though authorized person, is inside the organization or outside the organization trying to access the data, whether that data access is really needed, then only it is allowed. So there are a lot of think process are going on, and I'll not say that this is completely a foolproof. I mean, there are definitely loopholes. There are definitely some disadvantages when we are talking about the zero trust. But when it comes to the security, there is a maximum security we are getting. And while we are working remotely, while we are not inside the organizations, right? So there are broad steps NIST has given us how we can implement the zero trust. So first of all, identify actor on the enterprise. Means what? Who are your subjects and users? I mean, your policy engine needs to know who are the enterprise subjects and their access permissions. It's very, very important. Then second very important thing is that identify asset owned by the enterprises. So it's very important that we should have a proper inventory that like hardware components like laptop, phones, IoT devices, some digital artifacts such as user accounts and applications. So believe me, I was whenever I was doing an audit in a very big organization, banks and all, and then I was trying to interact with the application owners. Then I came to know that even application owners are not knowing about their own systems, right? So first and very important thing is to have to know what exactly my assets are, who is the owner of this data owner, and then what exactly the data classification is. That is also important. I mean, of course, data classification changes. Nothing is permanent when it comes to cybersecurity. Today, when it is highly confidential, tomorrow it might be a public, right? So it's again a dynamic process. But knowing what is inside the organization, what is important, what is outside, who is our third party, it's a very big task. Third important thing is that identifying key process and evaluate risk associated with execution. So next step to the inventory is the rank of your business process and the data. So, like business process should inform how resource access requests are granted and denied. I mean, this is very important. If somebody is trying to get inside the organization through email that we have already discussed and try to get the hold of highly restricted data, then it's very dangerous. So how we can restrict it? Who is the owner? And trust me, when these concepts of, trust nobody and verify everybody, this concept was launched initially, the people were reluctant. I mean, I have seen a lot of interviews online where people were saying that I am the CEO of the company and I am, like CTO of the company, and I still have to go through this process. And they were very, very reluctant to follow the process. There are a lot of stories or, true real life incidences you will come across. I'll share one of it. Like there was a tender, very important tender, which was filled by this organization, and then there only 3 people were knowing, like CFO, CTO, and CEO. And then they came to know that they lost this tender, and with very short margin, right? So, and then forensic department started investigating this, and but who will ask to the because these are three giants, right? They are kind of very big entities in the organization, and to ask their laptops and their credential, it's really, really very tough task for even for the digital forensic expert. And then somehow they manage with, not directly but indirectly, they try to got hold of the access of 3 of them, CEO, CTO, and CFO. And after investigation, they came to know that the email about the tender has been sent by the CTO. But the thing is that it was really, really tough initially for the organization's head to get convinced that whether this concept of trust nobody and verify everybody should be implemented. But a lot of such incidences made them think, and then organizations started adopting it. Next, very important is the formulate policy for the ZTN candidate. Like this includes the migration, which will depends on the number of factors, including the importance of the process to the organization, the group of the subjects that are going to affect. Thing is that it's not that, today I have decided that I wanted to convert my entire organization into zero trust architecture. It's not possible, right? So we have to think through, we have to find out. I mean, it's not only difficult and complex, but it is also a very costly affair, right? So there are a lot of legacy systems which should support the new technologies, and we cannot discard it. So there are while auditing, we have come to know that there are legacy systems where very highly restricted data is getting stored, but they cannot discard that system. Then how to, and then we cannot upgrade also, right? So, and it's very difficult to transfer the data from this old system to the new system. It's very costly affair. So we have to decide, like, while discussing or deciding the policies for a zero trust network architecture, and then identify the candidate for the solution. First of all, we have to see which is very important, which is very essential. And then we can divide into the segment, and then we can deploy the solution and then monitor it. It should work fine also, right? So if I'm trying to deploy something and then I am like realizing that this is not working fine, there are a lot of problems and my business is getting hampered, then it's a tough task. I mean, organization always will say that, fine, I'm not interested going for it, because availability for some businesses are very critical, like Amazon. Or if like simple example, I am browsing something, right? So I wanted to buy something, and then all of a sudden the site goes offline. Then I'll wait for some time, and then I'll get hyper and I'll say, okay, forget it, let me find out some other solution from where I can buy. I'll give you my own example, right? So when I was trying to use Google app for my payment, right? Google payment, twice or thrice I came to know that Google is not allowing me to pay. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then next transaction onwards, I switched to PhonePe, right? So it's very important whether it is really impacting my business, or is it giving me a good solution, good security, without impacting my processes. So this is very important when we are implementing zero trust. These are the broad steps. I mean, again, I would like to emphasize here, I'm not going for any, I'm not promoting any product. There are a lot of product like SASE, Zero Trust Network, and like many organizations they have. So I just wanted to give and feel to you, how should we think when we are thinking about the zero trust? Of course, every technology has their own advantages and disadvantages, and zero trust has their own. There are many, but I don't want to get into detail. I mean, when you will start exploring the things, you will come to know. Of course, what we get it is enhanced security, improved visibility and control, of course, and then reduce risk of insider threats. I mean, definitely. If at all I'm myself giving away my credential and laptop to somebody else, then I mean, I can't help out there. But yes, the example we have discussed, maybe in that case, it will be useful. And as we are saying that zero trust is enforcing or, trying to force that we have to give importance to the data. And then we have to protect the data, whether it is in transit, whether it is in the storage stage, or whether it is in the processing state. So, I mean, we have to use the encryption wherever it is possible. And then when we are seeing the negative side of it, of course, it's a complex. More application devices, users need to, will get added, and it will be very difficult to manage. There will be many false positive, right? So because AI can lead us to that. But overall, I would like to say is zero trust will definitely in solution to our current problems. I mean, I don't know whether I have exceeded my time, but I would like to end my...
No, absolutely. Please. There's time. No.
Okay. So I just wanted to discuss very simple case study, right? So there are complex case studies I was thinking of including in this webinar, but then it's not a good idea because we have to explore our own thinking when it comes to cybersecurity. I would like to give a very simple, very simple compromise credentials. So in this example, a malicious cyber actor compromises legitimate users' credentials and attempt to access organizational resources. So the malicious actor is using an unauthorized device, either through remote or with the rogue device, joining through organizations LAN WAN. So what is happening in the traditional network is once the user's credentials and the password, it's enough. It's enough for me, right? So I can get inside the organization and I can do whatever I want, whatever data I can access, and I'm a good scriptwriter and advanced hacker. I can write my own script and get access to the admin and whatnot. But when it comes to zero trust, what it does is it's not only the user name and password, it will also check from where this device has been accessed, whether this is the device which is in the database or not. Lot of factors, whether what timing it is getting access, right? So many different combinations has been added when it comes to zero trust while we are designing the policy engines or and we are putting the rules. And then it is not now very easy for an hacker to get inside just because the username and password has been hacked. And I was getting attracted to this hacking because of the creative mind, and then I came to know there are a lot of apps, those are or the sites they are available where we can easily get the passwords. Then then I was very surprised, like how people can actually safeguard themselves, and then these passphrases and all those stuffs has come into the picture. But that was also not sufficient, right? So when zero trust concept, they're adding other factors, right? The devices, then the timings, because in the zero trust policy, we can give the timings to like 9 to 5 is allowed from India zone. Yes, that's it. And then this is the device. So we can add many factors when it is come to authentication. And again, we can give the sessions, right? So now you might have come to know that zero trust can bring really some difference when it comes to the cybersecurity. And we can definitely rely to some extent to the zero trust. When it comes to cybersecurity nowadays, we say that human is the weakest link, right? So if we decided to give an access to the hacker, then nobody can help. But yes, now technologies are getting more and more tougher for the hackers to get an access and to get inside the organization, and very importantly to get a hold of a data, because even though hacker is trying to get an access, the data is encrypted, right? With this new technology, I would just like to introduce, because even though the zero trust is one of the major area NIST and federal government agencies are pushing, but a post-quantum cryptography or quantum safe solutions is another very important and a challenging area, we can say that. And it is now going hand to hand with zero trust. People are pushing, federal agencies are pushing to enhance the encryption from modern cryptography to quantum safe, because the quantum computers are on our doorsteps. There was an estimate that 2035 the quantum computers will come into existence, and maybe we have a time, but it doesn't look like that, because if you'll see, there are several news each and every day we are getting, and there are a lot of advancement in the quantum computers, where traditional cryptography is already compromised. Just in very brief, because this topic is really of my interest, so would like to just touch upon that. RSA is already broken when it comes to quantum computers, and RSA is our backbone. Most of the places you will see RSA and ECC has been extensively used in TLS, or for authentication or many purposes. And this RSA has been broken by using Shor's algorithm, and it is not safe in quantum world. That means nothing is safe if we can if we are going ahead with our traditional cryptography. So zero trust along with the quantum safe can bring a lot of security to our organization. And I think we should seriously think through and push the organizations to go for this strategy. I think I'll stop here, and thank you so much. I would like to take any questions if you have.
Yeah, that was really nice and great topic, Shravani. Really very insightful. And just to add on things, right, like especially the story which you said, the fish tank, when I was not aware, quite an interesting one. Because there's like a nice casino in Singapore as well, which is like very famous here, Marina Bay Sands Casino, which is, I hope they are safe.
Yeah, there are a lot of stories, like when it comes to IoT, and trust me on this one, like people are now pushing to IoT security, encryption specifically. And it's nothing like not only the traditional cryptography, but now we have to think about the quantum safe and post-quantum cryptography, because quantum computing is picking up like anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a few queries again when you spoke about the last element of the quantum computing, right? Like quantum safe. What do you think about the passwordless, right? These days, that is the major thing which is happening along with the zero trust. So, because I believe when you say about the quantum computing, it is going to break the RSA algorithm, and that is the backbone, right? So, what are your thoughts? Have you thought about the passwordless technologies coming into picture now, the FIDO, the tokens, or the biometric authentications, right? There are a lot of Okta, there are new startups coming on. I've been hearing that it's a market cap of $22 billion, the passwordless technologies. Even I think Microsoft is also coming up with the FIDO thing, right?
Correct.
Any insights on that? Do you want to share?
I wanted to ask the counter question on this before answering this question. Like, what exactly passwordless means?
Passwordless is basically where you don't have the traditional way of adding the username and password. Rather, it's more into like your OTP based, or rather your biometric, right? Your face IDs or your fingerprints. So, what do you think about
where you are storing it?
Again, the databases, of course.
Correct, right? So there is again encryption, right? So, I mean, see, thing is that is there any way we are saying that the parameters are not getting access anywhere?
No.
No, right? So they are accessed somewhere. So how they are getting access? And what is the
again, it's the encryption and stuff, the same thing again.
Correct, right? So, and then if at all we are targeting, I mean, when it comes to quantum safe or quantum computing, sorry. So if at all, while accessing those credentials, how will access?
Again, you make a request and kind of thing. You have a constant
they should have some secure channel, right?
Yes.
And then how you will give this security to the channel?
Again, through all the various algorithms which is already existing, and you try to do this.
That's what it is, right? So we cannot, I mean, see, whatever technology comes into picture, we cannot say that we can exclude encryption from that and come up with something. So even though biometric, we have to store the data somewhere, we have to access it through somewhere. There are each and every way. I mean, face recognition, how we'll do that? You have to access it, you have to use some mechanism to interact, right? And there we have to And then their maybe username and password or TLS. But when it comes to transmitting in data, then how you'll safeguard it?
Again, it has to be the traditional ways
and
itself.
then traditional encryption, RSA, easy, that's all. Because again, there are different, I mean, that topic is again very important, and it may take 2-3 hours if I'll start discussing on quantum safe, but I'll just give the glimpse, right? So RSA is already broken. When my data is flowing by using TLS 1.3, and then if somebody can, and then there is a concept called harvest now, decrypt later. I mean, I'll get all your data, I'll keep it, I'll dump it. When I'll have the the hardest, powerful quantum computer with me, I will decrypt it. Now the question comes, is it applicable to everything? No. When it comes to your face biometric, these are the long life, right? So what is the life of the data that matters, right? So if my data life is short, fine, 3 years, 4 years, I don't have to worry. But if my data is highly restricted, has a longer life, then I have to think through, because if my data is harvested and then getting decrypted later, and it is encrypted by using the traditional cryptography, I am really have to worry on this things, So why I want organization to think to, and even NIST is taking seriously, because recently I have attended one workshop on NIST's on quantum safe. Like, it's not even a very smooth journey, right? So and that's why they're pushing zero trust along with quantum safe. I mean, because zero trust is not saying that you don't use encryption. You have to use encryption. We have to use that, right? So then, if at all we are trying to find out what our organization assets are, where exactly we are standing, then why not to find out about the cryptography?
Right.
Because trust me, I was doing audit for many reputed banks, and they are not knowing. I was surprised to know from one of the very senior employee of a bank saying that Shravani, trust me, this data has been hacked. I mean, excuse me, you are you are a very senior employee in the bank. See, he said, trust me on this. They will never say the data is not been hacked. And then so this is because they don't know where the data is stored. And he was absolutely right. I mean, then the zero trust is not saying that start implementing. How you'll implement? You first have to know where exactly, what are the different devices, where exactly my data resides, how exactly the data flows, how I can segment the things, how I can put the things, and then I can decide, right? So it's a policy, it's a strategy, it's a mindset. And when I'm going along with this, I can push the things. Okay, my data is of a 10 years or 15 years lifetime, and it is flowing through this channel. Let me upgrade along with zero trust quantum safe technology. And that is what the trend is going on, and that is where the NIST is pushing. I mean,
that's great. That's great.
So
it feels like we are in the future. We are living in the future, to be honest. Like, these are all the things which you used to hear long back, the quantum computing and stuff, and it's actually happening now. It's not a futuristic.
Yeah, and trust me, I was trying to think through when I started my journey in cybersecurity. I was trying to push this on quantum computing and post-quantum cryptography. People were so reluctant. No, Shravani, that's okay, And all of a sudden, I found out like everybody started talking about PQC. No, they are high. And now the discussions are going on. I mean, I'm giving a lot of webinars on quantum safe actually, and where people are asking, is it really necessary, or you're just making the stories? I said, I don't want to sell the product, right? So
nice.
It's like that. So
that's what I wanted to come to. The next question is like, how did you make your move into the quantum safe, right? I believe you did your PhD in your like cryptography and your electronics background, and later into cryptography. How was the transition into the quantum computing side, the quantum safe side?
From this project perspective, you would like to say?
Yes.
Okay, or my own journey.
Your own journey, that would be good.
Okay, so my own journey is a little bit different because I of course, I started my BTech with electronics and telecommunication background. And then I was more into image processing and video processing, actually, with the machine learning. And and then 2010, I started with my data security in cryptography. I was having no clue what exactly it does mean, because I'm from the electronics background. It is completely mathematics and computer science, right? So, but I was always fascinated with this mathematics. And then when I started reading about number theory, I came to know this altogether different world of abstract mathematics. And I started studying by my own, and then I got enrolled with a PhD program. And I got very good mentor, actually, who is a very famous cryptanalyst in India, Professor Sure. And cryptanalysis job is very tough, because see, the thing is that cryptanalysts, what they do, they are not hackers. What they do is they try to analyze the algorithm, like RSA algorithm, then they try to analyze AES algorithm and try to see, is there any mathematical possibility to break it? Right. So, and then when I started journey, my professor said, like, Shravani, this isn't suicide. What you are trying to attempt is, because these are foolproof algorithms. Like, the algorithm takes 10 years to build. A lot of different cryptanalysts all over the world, they try to attack on it with the different methods, and then only they pass, right? So I said, that's fine. I am okay with that. And then I started my journey, and then I could able to deliver one method on RSA factorization. And that's what I came to know, that RSA factorization is possible with normal computer. That's what we did. And then, of course, Shor 1994, he has already proposed quantum computers, but the Shor's algorithm, but that is with the quantum computer. I said, like, if at all it is possible with a classical, then quantum computers can make a huge difference in this one. And of course, I worked on my symmetric key algorithm on a BiVM. So then also I got a complete break. I mean, we could able to break complete cipher, and we could able to recover complete key. Right. So that is how my journey started. And then when I entered into the cybersecurity, I came to know that people are not taking cryptography that seriously. Right. So, and then I was like, people are saying, just, we will just use some AES and that's it. There are 2-3 algorithms. I said, why people are not taking seriously? I mean, cryptography is a very important thing. And then I realized, no, they are talking more about infrastructure, physical security and keeping dogs and all. And then I was like, yeah, correct. I mean, then, and lucky, it's my luck, like, because I am very much a supporter of cryptography. The pandemic hit. It's a bad thing, but people started realizing the importance of the cryptography. And then they understood that, and then there is a drastic, changes in the quantum computing journey. And then and again, there is one misconception I've cleared many places, is post-quantum cryptography or quantum safe cryptography doesn't need quantum computers. It doesn't need quantum computers, right? So many people ask me, like, do we have to wait till quantum computers come? No, we don't have to, because it's a mathematical structure which made in such a way that quantum computers can't break. So, of course, then we don't have to wait for that. It's a mathematical structure which we can implement by using classical computers, and then we can upgrade it, right? So, and this is how my journey is now into the quantum safe, and I'm promoting very strongly quantum safe and zero trust, of course, because I love the concept zero trust. And trust me, I have recently connected with the Paul Simon, who is actually deparameterizer inventor, you can say that, who pushed this concept, and people were very, very reluctant to accept those concepts. And then slowly now, see, thing is that's what I always wonder. Do we really have to wait till disaster happens?
Yes.
And that's how the mentality of cybersecurity, right? So if I can run the business, why should I go for it, right? So, and that is what it is. I mean, yes, my data is got stolen. I have to lose my $500 million. Fine, let me run for it. So that is how it. I'll till then I'll sleep. I'll say, okay, let me run my business till that time. So it is how it is. So I want to advocate through various platforms that take it seriously. Maybe not, drastically you change the systems, but at least give focus to highly restricted data, and then, start your journey towards it. So it's not easy, of course, it's complicated, but yeah.
It reminds me of this movie. It felt like watching this movie of Alan Turing, The Imitation Game.
Oh,
Once Upon
yes, yes. Correct. That is one of my favorite movies. I mean, actually. And trust me, I was like, when I started this journey of cryptography and, hacking and all, now my professor used to tell me a lot of stories. And I have come across some of the, defense officials, and they were telling like this honey traps and this actually happens. I mean, it's like,
Yes,
it actually happens, right? So that's what I was like, zero trust, fine. Yes, I accept zero trust with rogue. Like, I'm going to put a lot of policies, everything is there, but I am going to hand over my devices. I am telling, sit in my cabin and hack it. What will I do?
true that, true that.
So,
Humans are always the weakest link at the end of the day.
humans are always biggest link, be it with the emotions, greed, or whatever it is. And then there, I don't know if we can make any difference, but or anything evolutional or invention we have to think through. But I think still we are getting that big too. This is the weakest link. I mean, I must
That's
say
true.
that.
That's true. And the most funniest fact was like when you were saying that RSA was getting broken and like you guys have, the fact is like I work for RSA. So I
Okay.
used to be, I'm an ex-employee of RSA Security, which is basically founded by the RSA, right? Revert, Shamir and Alderman. So kind of like remembered those days. But yeah, that's good. And one final question here. So again, right, regarding as this is for the women thing. So what do you recommend, like as you advocate in various platforms, like what is the message you'd like to give to women to enter the quantum or the cryptography side or the quantum safe side, right? Because this is something which is not spoken more often. Like even for men as well, right? There are very, very few people into the cryptography side, which
Correct.
I think is a fascinating field and might be a tough thing, but I'm sure it's a fascinating field to get into. So what is
Correct.
your message for people to enter this? And what are the courses, maybe, if you want to recommend anything to get started?
Okay. First of all, if you want to make money, get into this.
That's a good one.
It's for all. It's for all. I'll compare this problem with Y2K. If you remember, like 2000, there was, from 1999 to 2000, there was a walk, right? So people wanted to upgrade their systems, and they were not knowing how the computers will behave when from 1919 to when it will go to 00. Because see, that time the memory space was less, right? So what the inventor did is they removed first two character and then used last two nine, like 98, 99 kind of, and then they forgot, like there now it is going to change to 00. So nobody knows how it will behave, right? Nobody knows. And then there was like complete havoc, and then people started solving this problem, and then huge amount of money was spent. Lot of people earn a lot of money and lot of manpower required. Now, when it comes to quantum safe, it is now they are comparing to Y2K, right? Now, let me give the comparison, right? So why I'm talking about is like money making machine. So it's like 2000 limited devices, right? Computers, all those, like not that many. Now, can you imagine how many devices, IoT, smartwatch, you just name it. It's everywhere. We are digital only. So funny thing is that now we are not calling us as a digital, but that is the only part left, right? So everything around us is digital. And then everywhere we need encryption now, because hackers are everywhere. Every data is not inside the organization, not, intranet. It is flowing everywhere. Where my blood pressure and my blood reports and everything is going, we don't know, right? So now we have to safeguard the data. So encryption is playing a major role again here. How we'll save it? If it is now I wanted to upgrade the system, it is quantum safe. I have to move to quantum safe. How will I do it? Is it that easy now? Just tell me. Because see, thing is that there were only three. One is the AES algorithm, then Diffie-Hellman, RSA, ECC. That's it, right? But now quantum safe, they're coming up with the many algorithm. One is the Kyber. There are three for the digital signature. They're coming up more 4-5. They're in the list. So now, which algorithm will fit where? Again, it's a big question. It's a experimentation task, and then we cannot say that anybody can do it. We have to train ourselves. But do we need that extensive knowledge of cryptography? Not necessary. That's what I would say. Like, you don't have to know mathematical structure. You have to know how that algorithm, see, thing is that now also we are calling the libraries, right? For cryptography. When I entered into cybersecurity, people were saying, cryptography, yeah, it's a library. I said, no, it's not a library, it's algorithm. No, it's a library. So now I got an understanding like, okay, nobody has to go in that deep till mathematics, but they can get into how to fetch the library, which to use where, right? So that much knowledge. Of course, you need skilled worker. You have to know about cryptography. And second important thing is that now, immediately, we don't have to go for the migration stage, right? First of all, we have to know the discovery. That is where you don't need extraordinary knowledge of cryptography. You just have to know what are the different algorithms that currently existed, where it is existed, what type of data, and there are tools available. So giving an organization this angle, because NIST has proposed that by 2023, I mean mid, now it's almost there. All federal agencies or whoever is doing the business, they should know where the cryptography and what is your posture of the cryptography in your organization. And of course, that will be applicable to each and every organization sooner or later, right? So you can start your journey from here. Just discovering, telling organization where your cryptography lies by using different tools, by auditing, by knowing things. Later it comes, because then it is a journey which can go along with zero trust, which can go along with some other things. And then you can propose like, okay, this is important data. And then this is what the, solution for this, cryptography solution for this. For that, when you are starting your discovery journey, you will be so experienced because you are continuously into that process, 1 or 2 years. It is easy for you to propose. Right. So what I'll suggest you, don't get scared. Like it's cryptography, it's mathematics. No, it's not like that. That's what I want more and more, not only women, but men, everybody should get into this because this is very, very massive. The funny part is, of course, it's a finance, but just trust me, blockchain, digital currency, all system will collapse. Funnily, I always tell that, I have to take all my money and put it under the tree. Because if the existing system will not get upgraded and then quantum comes, where will I keep my money? Then I have to withdraw all and I have to keep it under the tree. So, it's like, it's to safeguard myself. I mean, second part is that I'll make money. I have to safeguard myself first, right? So I have to help community also and then get into this quantum safe. There are courses that are very, very, not necessarily you have to go for a quantum safe. Take very fundamental courses on a cryptography where they're teaching, what are the different PKI, how it is. It's very, very simple language. I mean, I don't have courses handy in my hand right now, but normally I also give many places the course on fundamental of cryptography where just have to know how the cryptography used. That's it. That simple as that. And then from there you can start your journey and then maybe you can be
great.
And you will be in great demand. Savior.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so fascinating to hear about these things, right? This is something which is not spoken often. And I'm so glad that today, like, we really did. And my request would be, like, if possible, if you can deliver another session someday on your quantum safe itself, that would be like
quantum
really
safe,
amazing.
I definitely would love to. I depends upon what is your interest is, of course. I mean,
Absolutely. And I hope sometime, if in case you're visiting INSEAD, which I'm sure one day you will, we can definitely have something like an in-person event for you. So we would be definitely happy to.
Definitely. Cryptography, anything on a crypto, cyber, quantum safe, I'm open to deliver session at any time for any duration, from fundamental till advanced. That's not a problem for me at all. Thank you so much. I mean, this is really great
and
to be.
I must say that, to be honest, I'm not sugarcoating it. This is one of the fascinating talks I've ever attended. And thank you so much. Like, truly very insightful discussion. Like, it opened a lot of eye opener for me as well. And I'm sure I'm going to study more in this aspect as well, because I come from a security automation side though, but this has always been something which I really wanted to learn and focus on. So thank you.
I will definitely deliver a session on a quantum safe where I want more and more people to get into this. And specifically, see, quantum safe, once you are inside, it's a whole together different world for people, right? So just
Absolutely.
it's like people think whether should I take a step or not. That's where, and you have to just push yourself, and you know that you can float very easily inside. So I will definitely like to
Wonderful.
share.
We'll make sure that we'll have more such people joining your team in future, and hopefully like a
Of
bigger,
course, of
bigger
course.
crowd, right? So definitely. Let me just share my screen for a minute. Yeah. So, well, thank you once again for doing this, Shravani, and for others, right? So we have another event coming up this week itself. Like this is going to be on DevSecOps, another thing event. So for those who are interested into DevOps or DevSecOps, right, and a bit of automation, do join this, and you'll get more insights on it. And once again, thank you so much, Dr. Shravani. It's really a pleasure. Really, I love the time spending in this. So really, once again, heartfelt thanks for this, and I hope to attend another session very soon. And
Sure, sure.
any
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Really,
Like that.
thank
Thank you
you.
very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye. Take care.